You ever wonder what your grandparents used to eat when life was moving fast and money was tight? What kind of sandwich hit the spot before a shift at the factory, after church on Sunday, or sitting on the porch with a cold drink? These weren't deli-style stacks. They were real deal, homegrown bites that told stories. Cheese and pickle, chopped egg with vinegar, even Bologna turned pizza style. Yeah, they had flavor and heart. These sandwiches fed generations, sparked memories, and made folks feel full in more ways than one. So if you're ready to taste the past and honor the hustle, hit that like button, share this with someone who remembers, and drop a comment with your own sandwich story. And don't forget to subscribe. We're serving up 10 forgotten classics, one bite at a time. Number 1, cheese and apple sandwich. You ever bite into something that mixed sharp with sweet like it was meant to be? That's the cheese and apple sandwich, a forgotten gem that balanced bold cheddar with crisp apple slices. Folks would layer tart Granny Smiths or mellow reds over thick slabs of cheese, sometimes with a swipe of mustard or honey, all tucked between soft bread or toasted rye. It was crunchy, creamy, and full of contrast, the kind of combo that made you pause mid-bite and smile. Elders remember making this when fruit was fresh and cheese was always in the fridge. Some added walnuts, some grilled it like a melt, but the magic was in the mix. Ask someone who still believes lunch should surprise you. They'll say this sandwich was a quiet stroke of genius. Number 2, hot brown. You ever taste something so rich it felt like a celebration? That's the hot brown, a warm, open-faced sandwich born in Kentucky, but loved all over. It started with roasted turkey laid on toast, then smothered in creamy Mornay sauce, topped with tomato slices and crispy bacon, then broiled till bubbly and golden. Elders remember this as a Sunday treat, a special occasion bite that showed up when company came over or when leftovers got fancy. It was messy, indulgent, and unforgettable. Some folks added ham, some used cheddar instead of Parmesan, but the soul of it stayed the same. Comfort, layered with love. Today, folks chase brunch trends, but ask your grandpa or that neighbor who still cooks like it's 1955. They'll tell you. This sandwich was Southern hospitality on a plate. Number 3, BLT Sandwich, bacon, lettuce, and tomato. You ever bite into something so fresh and crispy it made you feel like summer was back? That's the BLT, bacon, lettuce, and tomato, stacked with love and a swipe of mayo. It wasn't just a sandwich, it was a ritual. Elders remember frying up bacon in the morning, slicing garden tomatoes still warm from the sun, and laying it all on toasted bread with iceberg crunch. It was simple, but it hit hard. Salty, juicy, creamy, and crisp, all in one bite. Some folks added avocado, some used Miracle Whip, but the OG BLT, that was porch sitting, radio playing, and paper napkin living. Today, folks dress it up. But ask your grandma or that neighbor who still grows tomatoes out back. They'll tell you, this sandwich was the taste of home. Number 4, chopped egg and vinegar sandwich. You ever taste something so sharp and creamy it made your mouth wake up? That's the chopped egg and vinegar sandwich, a tangy twist on egg salad that your grandparents swore by. They'd boil the eggs, chop 'em rough, then mix in a splash of vinegar instead of just mayo. Sometimes a little mustard, maybe a pinch of salt and pepper, and that was it. Slapped between 2 slices of bread, it was bold, briny, and full of character. Elders remember making this on hot days when cooking wasn't an option, or packing it for work when meat was too expensive. It was quick, cheap, and packed with protein. Some folks added onions or celery for crunch. But the vinegar? That was the secret handshake. Today, folks might turn up their nose, but ask your grandma or that neighbor who still boils eggs every Sunday. They'll tell you, this sandwich had bite and backbone. Number 5, Bologna Pizza Sandwich. You ever turn leftovers into something that tasted like a party? That's the Bologna Pizza Sandwich, a wild working-class remix that hit different. Folks would fry up a slice of bologna till the edges curled, then slap on tomato sauce, sprinkle shredded cheese, maybe a dash of oregano, and broil it right on bread. It was pizza vibes without the dough, and it came together in minutes. Elders remember making this after school, late at night, or when payday was still a week away. It was greasy, cheesy, and full of attitude. The kind of sandwich that made you feel like you were eating good even when times were lean. Some added hot sauce, some used ketchup, but the spirit stayed the same. Make it work, make it tasty. Ask someone who grew up with a toaster oven and a dream, they'll tell you. This sandwich was pure invention. Number 6, cream cheese and olive sandwich. You ever spread something smooth and salty that made your whole day feel a little fancier? That's the cream cheese and olive sandwich, a quiet classic that packed punch and polish. Folks would mix chopped green olives into softened cream cheese, sometimes with a dash of garlic powder or a splash of olive juice, then spread it thick on white or rye bread. It was creamy, briny, and had that grown-up flavor that made you feel like you were eating something special. Elders remember serving this at baby showers, bridge clubs, or just making it for themselves when they wanted a break from the usual. It was light, but it lingered. A sandwich that whispered, not shouted. Some added pimentos, some used black olives, but the vibe stayed classy. Ask someone who still keeps a tub of cream cheese in the fridge and knows how to make a snack sing. They'll tell you. This sandwich was quiet luxury before that was even a thing. Number 7, fried bologna sandwiches. You ever hear that sizzle in the pan and know lunch was about to slap? That's the fried bologna sandwich, a blue-collar classic that turned humble meat into a crispy masterpiece. Folks would score the edges so it wouldn't bubble, fry it till the rim curled like a hat, then lay it on white bread with mustard, mayo, or even a slice of cheese. It was smoky, salty, and had that greasy goodness that stuck to your ribs. Elders remember making this after school, between shifts, or just because it was what they had. And it never disappointed. Some toasted the bread, some doubled the meat, but the fried bologna, that was the hero. Ask someone who grew up with a cast-iron skillet and a fridge full of stretch-it meals. They'll tell you. This sandwich was the sound of survival and the taste of pride. Number 8, taco-inspired ground beef sandwich. You ever crave something that tasted like Friday night but came from a weekday kitchen? That's the taco-inspired ground beef sandwich, a spicy, savory mashup that brought fiesta vibes to the lunch table. Folks would brown up ground beef with taco seasoning, maybe toss in onions or peppers, then pile it onto bread with shredded cheese, lettuce, and a splash of hot sauce. Sometimes it was served sloppy, sometimes grilled like a melt, but it always hit with that bold, beefy kick. Elders remember making this when taco shells ran out, or when stretching leftovers meant getting creative. It was messy, mouth-watering, and full of flavor that didn't quit. Some added sour cream, some went heavy on the spice. But the soul of it was always that taco twist. Ask someone who knew how to turn pantry scraps into a party, they'll tell you. This sandwich was weeknight magic with a south-of-the-border swagger. Number 9. Cuban Sandwich. You ever bite into something so layered and loaded it felt like a whole story in one chew? That's the Cuban Sandwich. Crispy, melty, and stacked with swagger. It started in Florida's cigar factories, where Cuban workers pressed roast pork, ham, Swiss cheese, pickles, and mustard between crusty Cuban bread. Then they grilled it till the outside was golden and the inside was a molten dream. Elders remember grabbing this from corner cafes wrapped in wax paper, still warm from the press. It was bold, balanced, and full of rhythm, every bite a mix of salt, tang, and soul. Some folks added salami, some used French bread when Cuban wasn't around, but the spirit stayed strong. Ask someone who grew up near a train station or a lunch counter with a hot press and they'll tell you. This sandwich was heritage you could hold in your hands. Number 10. Shrimp salad rolls. You ever bite into something cool, creamy, and straight from the coast? That's the shrimp salad roll, a summertime stunner that brought seaside flavor to everyday tables. Folks would boil or saute shrimp, chop them fine, then mix with mayo, celery, lemon juice, and a little seasoning. Scoop that into a soft split-top roll, and you had a sandwich that felt like a vacation, even if you were eating it on a lunch break. Elders remember serving these at family reunions, fish fries, or just sitting on the porch with a cold drink and a breeze. Some added dill, some used Old Bay, but the shrimp, that was the crown jewel. Ask someone who still remembers the smell of low tide and the sound of screen doors slamming. They'll tell you, this sandwich was sunshine in a bun. So now you've tasted the past. 10 sandwiches that built memories, fed generations, and proved that flavor don't need fancy. These weren't just meals, they were moments, passed down, packed up, and sometimes nearly lost, but not anymore. If one of these brought back a smell, a story, or a smile, hit that like button. Share this with someone who still remembers the sound of a lunchbox snapping shut. Drop a comment with your own forgotten favorite. And don't forget to subscribe, 'cause we're just getting started. There's a whole table of history still waiting to be served.